at the caves from the Shut Up and Mine video. Fawn and Emp were mining for iron and coal. Fawn knew how to get the eyes for the end portal, but she'll need to defeat Blazes. She needed blaze powder and ender pearls, so she was getting iron and coal to smelt and make armor, weapons, and extra stuff for later. Fawn and Emp finished mining and went to the surface. They took the path to their house and Fawn made 2 iron swords. Fawn gave one to Emp and kept the other for herself. They went to their secret base and enchanted their swords with the EXP they had.
You ready, Emp?
Fawn asked. Emp nodded her head, and they went to the nether portal. Outside their house, they spawned in between the blue and red forest filled with trees, plants, and endermen. They started attacking the endermen and taking wood for their house. They went home and put the pearls, wood, and extra plants that got in their inventory while fighting inside. They went back to the nether and went to the fortress to get blaze rods to make blaze powder. The blazes got attacked. Round 24 were unalived, and the 2 were good on blaze rods. They went to the extra portal in the fortress and went to the base that Fawn made as a surprise. Emp already saw it but acted like she didn't know what it was to not hurt Fawn's feelings.
Oh, wow. This is so amazing. You did this for us?
Emp asked. Fawn nodded and Emp looked around. Fawn pointed to the button that takes them back to their original house, and they went home. Fawn started crafting some eyes and finished. Fawn and Emp were upset because they'll have to choose to stay or leave. But they had to leave someday. Fawn and Emp went outside to use the eyes and find the portal. Fawn used one eye, and it took them down to the cave, which they didn't expect, but they continued. The eye was taking them to a dangerous area, and they were scared. It was taking them to the warden's location. They started crouching to make little noise, and their shoes got stained. A bit from the gooey, slimy, glowing liquid on the ground, walls, and a little bit on the ceiling. The ceiling looked different though. There were straight lines that were a little wiggly, but on the walls there were a little bit of the same details, but mostly the liquid stuff was smeared, and the ground was covered in the liquid. But there were large footprints in the ground that were slowly going away from the liquid filling it. The eye took them straight to the place that looked like another fortress but in one room. It's not stuck in the walls or anything. It was just messy, a bit destroyed, and filled with treasure. There were also some purple caves with amethyst crystals inside. That looked so pretty. Em quietly whispered to Fawn that she wanted to look round, and Fawn looked at her with a confused look.
Emp, are you crazy? We're in the warden's location, and if we make one single loud sound, they'll be alarmed. And if I'm correct, if we make 2 to 5 sounds, they'll rise up out the ground and attack us. It only takes like 1 to 3 hits and we're out. Just because they wobble a bit while walking doesn't mean they aren't fast and dangerous. We have no nether thingy armor and aren't prepared to fight a warden. Maybe next time we can fight a warden, but now isn't the right time. There'll always be time to get a warden,
Fawn explained. Emp agreed and asked Fawn if she could at least help her find the pieces to Disc 5. Fawn rolled her eyes and accepted, but she wants to fix the portal in there first, in case they have to run and can't exit. Emp smiled, and they quietly went to the large portal in the room. Fawn cleaned it off a bit and started lighting the soul sand beneath it. Emp quietly went to a nearby chest and carefully opened it. She found a piece to Disc 5 and felt eyes on her. She quietly closed the chest and looked around the portal. With her eyes for Fawn, she saw Fawn giving her a serious look, then shaking her head and smiling. Emp didn't understand what happened but was grateful she didn't get in trouble. Fawn finally got the portal to work, and Emp looked at the greenish-blue color in it. Fawn quietly went to Emp, and they went to look for the 8 pieces of Disc 5. In the past 13 minutes of searching, the alarm went off 2 times. Emp and Fawn found the last piece, and now they needed a crafting table. They were about to leave when a sound from somewhere outside of the warden's location alarmed a skulk shrieker. That was 3. A warden appeared from the side of Fawn and Emp, making them run. Emp ran towards the exit while Fawn ran towards the portal. Fawn looked behind her and noticed Emp wasn't with her. Fawn saw the warden running towards the exit, which is where Emp was going. Fawn tried to run to her, but the warden heard her and attacked her with a scream that blew her into the portal. Amp was still running but went on the wrong path. She was just running in more of the warden's place. More skulk shriekers alarmed and to more wardens appeared. Amp was getting tired but couldn't stop running. If she did, that would be the end of her life. She ran into a cave and was at a dead end. Below her was the warden area where her and Fawn were. The portal was still lit and Amp could see her enchanted iron sword on the ground in front of the portal. Amp was starting to get confused. Did Fawn leave her behind? Amp heard a sound behind her and saw the 3 wardens coming towards her. She held onto the disc 5 pieces tightly, making her hand bleed, which she didn't notice. She stayed low and quiet. The warden heard water drops from behind her, and it blew her off the edge. Some of the pieces to disc 5 in her hand flew in the air and she fell in front of the portal. She grabbed the pieces to disc 5 and Fawn's sword, then jumped in the portal. To be continued.